You know, as long as it doesn't give me the "there's no sound being recorded" notification, I should be cool. And it's not so far, so I'm thinking it isn't going to. Okay, hi, YouTube, whoever is watching. Um, my name is Jared. I I had an MBTI channel before, Portrait of an INFP. Yeah, I identified for a little while as INFP. I didn't do a lot of the research, just kind of liked the idea. And at the time of discovering it, the person I was with actually was also INFP. And then the person after, well, not after that. After that was an INTJ, and that's just all sorts of fun. Anyway, but I don't know if that was kind of my way of delving into it. I'll do that a lot through other people, and I wonder if that's because of my, in actuality, a primary extroverted thinking. How in the world did I get a type with, you know, what is it? It's not even tertiary. It's like auxiliary extroverted thinking and say that that was my type? I don't know. I had people telling me, you aren't that type. A specific user, um, TBMC Nation or TMBC Nation or something like that. Everybody hates them. They basically go around telling people, you're not that type. But they, in my case, went so far as to use my likeness on their profile in different ways, changing over time. It was a bizarre fixation. Anyway, so I don't think I've stated plainly I do identify as ENTJ after finally taking some time to understand what the system meant and how it was really best used, and focusing less on the sensationalism of the letters and the 16 different types. What type are you? And focusing more on the actual psychology of it and the functional things, the cognitive functionality, essentially. Um, to that end, I've decided to start up another channel and just kind of talk about, with more precision, my personal experiences through those lenses. It's hard to make every conversation about MBTI, and so I don't know, this may be more of a discussion forum, inviting other people to chip in, and I really wish they would, because I love discussion to death. Um, it's an overused phrase, but anyway. Let's see. Um, let's pass with the MBTI. I think I've already really covered it with the someone I was seeing made a joke about how they always go for like borderline autistic INTJ types. I don't know what the hell an INTJ is. What's that even? What? Is that one of your special weird? I don't know. Anyway, and it wasn't. It was, or was, I guess, but it was this. And I looked into it, scored INFP. I guess I took the actual physical thing, and I can talk about the faults of those in another video, or of that. If you want it, by the way, I've got it. I've got the actual official MBTI thing in a text form where you can grade it. Anyway, not that it'll be much different from anything online. Honestly, if you don't know how to use it, you're going to be sent off on a tangent, much like I was. However, it ended up being a good tangent. After about 6 months, I kind of abandoned the channel for a great relationship that I found myself in along the way. Really great, actually, the more I think about it. As you may surmise, it's not going right now, and that's unfortunate, but whatever. I can talk about that sometime. That's something I'd like to get out in the open. I haven't talked about it much with many people. Still fresh, you know. Anyway, so really what I want to talk about with the first couple of introductory videos, maybe two more, is A, kind of giving a very brief synopsis of the MBTI, and B, talking about each function as far as I'm concerned. And so what the whole MBTI thing is, if you don't know, there are 16 types. Each type is based on a 4-letter system. Each letter has 2 alternates, so it's 4, each is 16. You know, you see the math, and I can imagine all the people going, "No, I don't. What's he talking about?" It's there. Anyway, layout. 4 options this way, 4 options that way, the combinations, 16 of them. Anyway, so for the letters you have introversion, extroversion, sensing, and intuiting, which is essentially the way you absorb information. Thinking and feeling, which is kind of the way you get out. And, I don't know, the two relate, whatever. And then judging and perceiving. Judging and perceiving and introversion and extroversion are not functions of their own. Judging and perceiving is specific to each type rather than contributing to it. And introversion, extroversion is kind of a modifier for each function, and then for the type overall. And so, the actual functions are intuition, sensing, feeling, and thinking. Each of those has an introverted and extroverted version, and in a type you have one of each. And each opposite is also opposite to the introversion extroversion, so that someone with extroverted sensing will always have introverted intuition. In my case, this means that I know my 2 primary functions are, and I believe it goes extroverted thinking, introverted intuition, extroverted sensing, and introverted feeling. It always goes, extroverted, introverted, extroverted. Anyway, hopefully I've given a good crash course there. Now, for me, having primary extroverted feeling, or yeah, right, extroverted thinking, has, on my end at least, presented a lot of opportunities and also a lot of challenges. When I was young, I was always pretty talkative and always had, ideas and commentary and things, and nobody else really wanted to hear it, especially people in my peer group. The adults always thought I was brilliant, but you never want to listen to kids, even if they are brilliant. And the other kids just thought I was insane. So I never really had very many friends that were not on that level, or at least understood the level I was on. I was always shedding peer groups that didn't meet that specification. In fact, I feel like the INTJ and those I've witnessed have more of those less complicated relationships. I never do. I have very few, but they're always relationships of very deep mutual understanding. Now, the disadvantages to that would be, of course, that I can become very critical, and it was at the point, it's been at the point a couple of times now where I've just gone off on people over the internet for, saying something that wasn't well-founded or something like that. Oftentimes it can really give a lot of morale to a crowd that was already kind of against their opinion, but when it's just kind of someone shooting the shit and I come down on them like that, when I look at it outside of myself, it really must be, kind of terrifying to people involved with me. And I've twice had that become a huge factor in relationships I was in, and as kind of a marker of, you haven't moved beyond this. You haven't moved beyond TE. And that's really the point, I guess, of cognitive functionality and studying it, is to realize that there is another step, and there are other things for you to build upon. Each function unlocks, so to speak, with age. I've had people tell me all the time, well, I know I'm like primary introverted feeling, but I just can't make sense of the rest of it. It's all bullshit. And in reality, I'm just now starting to get in touch with introverted intuition. And whether that's because of circumstances or the excessive amount of weed that I've been smoking is left to be determined. But it's all a work in progress, and hopefully in the next video I'll be able to talk a little bit about introverted intuition and how that's come into play for me, and how I guess that's starting to help me build myself as a person. Anyway, that was thoroughly, actually, ENTJ, I feel. That's nice. I never had that satisfaction at the end of one of my other videos, being able to say, yeah, I think I really got out everything I wanted to say concisely as the person I'm saying I am. It was always kind of, I didn't say this, I didn't make that point. I don't know. When I was putting on the INFP mask, I wonder if I was just I don't know, too anxious to be INFP to actually be INFP. But I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I think YouTube still has that 10-minute limit until you've posted so many videos. So adios, take care. I hope people enjoy this, and maybe, I don't know, if there's anything I touch upon that helps out or that they agree with or want to discuss. I'd love discussions. Please make a response video if you're interested. I always love those. And mahalo.